Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Monday, the 3rd of August. The government's diverting funding from overseas teachers to in-class training for Kiwis. Education Minister Erica Stanford has announced $21.7 million over 5 years to boost the school on-site training program. It lets trainee teachers spend up to 3 days a week in classrooms while completing formal study. Stanford says funding from ECE relocation grants is now going to trainees.
So it is an amazing career to get into and people want to be part of this and we want to back them through helping them study on site.
Winston Peters is claiming other political parties are jealous as they dismiss his latest election policy. New Zealand First is campaigning on $5,000 annual payments per year per child for the first 3 years of life. It would apply to families with at least one citizen parent and would apply to a couple's first 3 children. Peters says other parties have come up with nothing to solve our falling birth rate.
And I'm saying to some of those members of Parliament, look, your record on anything is pretty shabby, so why don't you just keep quiet, leave it to the public to decide.
A man's been discharged from hospital in Christchurch after an altercation when a couple found him in their child's bedroom. Police were called to a Wigram address before 1 a.m. yesterday and they found the injured man. Labor accepts it may have to recost its $160 million solar policy if the government empties its $200 million gas security fund pre-election. Newstalk ZB can reveal Resources Minister Shane Jones has been handed final advice on some proposals. Political reporter Troy Matic has more.
13 applications are actively progressing, only one's been declined so far. Labor says it will address changes pre-election. It warns if the money's allocated, the government must explain why it's rushed to lock New Zealand into multi-year contracts before an election.
Police aren't closing the door on offering accelerated training to recruits from more countries. 4 ex-Australian police officers have graduated alongside Kiwis, the first time under the new program. The course is squeezed into 10 weeks rather than the usual 20 for newbies, with more of a focus on New Zealand legislation. Assistant Commissioner Jeanette Park says there's interest from around the world, including the UK. A shaky weekend, adding to an unusual flurry of quakes. Te Araroa near Gisborne was rattled by a magnitude 5.7 about 8:30 last night, hot on the heels of quakes near Te Anau and offshore from Wellington on Friday and Saturday. Earth Science's Jonathan Hansen says 1 or 2 a month is normal, but in recent weeks we've had about 5 unrelated rumbles.
There's definitely a bit of a statistical outlier, but that's kind of the way we're thinking about it right now. Most of the time when we see a cluster of events, it's like an aftershock sequence. So this is pretty unique.
To sport, the Commonwealth Games are now complete. New Zealand have finished 6th on the medal table with 10 gold, 14 silver and 12 bronze behind Australia, England, Canada, India and Scotland. A bonus World Rally Championship drive for Hayden Paddon. He's been called up by Hyundai for the Paraguay leg at the end of this month. Still in Paraguay, footballer Tim Payne has struck on debut for his new club Olympia. And Laurie Daly's stepped down as New South Wales State of Origin league coach. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.